Hey folks, the moment we've all been waiting for is finally here. XRP has just hit a brand new all-time high. As I'm recording this, we're looking at $3.52, according to Live Coin Watch. You know what that means. We're officially in price discovery mode for XRP. It's wild to think that the last time we saw XRP in price discovery was back in 2017. Fast forward to 2025, and we've finally made it. Honestly, if it weren't for all that SEC drama, we might have seen this much sooner. But hey, we're here now, and we were right all along. It's happening right now, and it feels amazing to be vindicated. So let's celebrate and enjoy this moment. Trust me, this is just the beginning. Things are about to get even crazier before we see the top. Way crazier. Remember, the market isn't overheated right now. We're not seeing any signs that scream top, and things are moving just the way we'd hoped. In this video, I'll show you what's happening with XRP and Bitcoin dominance charts. Right now, we're in a great position. Seriously, we're looking good. There's a lot of strength behind this rally, and XRP is finally catching up after being held back for what feels like half a decade. Think of this as a celebration together. I'll also be sharing reactions from a bunch of chart analysts because, honestly, we all deserve this. The XRP community has been through so much. No other community has faced as much nonsense as we have. But here we are. We stuck it out, and it paid off. Our net worths are looking better than ever, and just to be clear, this is only the start. One quick thing before we go on. I don't have any sort of financial background, and I'm definitely not giving financial advice. Don't buy or sell anything just because of what I say here. I'm just a crypto enthusiast who loves making YouTube videos about this stuff. It's all for fun. As I'm recording, it's 5:40 p.m. Central Time, Thursday, July 17th, 2025. Right now, XRP is just a bit below the all-time high, but still in price discovery, sitting at $3.48. Bitcoin is behaving pretty calmly right now, sitting at $120,238. But what's really grabbing attention is XRP. It's the top performer among the top 10 coins by market cap, jumping an impressive 13.78% in just the last 24 hours. That's well ahead of the other big names. For comparison, Cardano comes in at number 2 by growth, but it's only up 6.31% in the same time. And check out XRP's trading volume. Over $15 billion moved in the last 24 hours alone. I actually saw a spike that went above 16 billion. Yep, you read that right. That's around 16 times higher than what we usually see. Now, let's be real, what's normal anyway? But here's the thing. When a chart gets as lively as XRP's is right now, jumping into bull mode and hitting new price discoveries, this kind of action is exactly what you should expect. 16 times higher than average. And get this, retail investors are only just beginning to come back. I'll dive more into that in another video soon. Honestly, seeing XRP reach these price levels with so little buzz around crypto is pretty wild. Sure, some people are starting to dip their toes back in, but we're nowhere near that full-on mania stage. So imagine what could happen if XRP is already performing like this before the real hype kicks in. We haven't even hit that euphoria yet. Where do you think XRP could go from here? My guess, a lot higher. I'm not here to make any price predictions. That's never been my thing and never will be. But I will say this. I'm investing in XRP because I believe there's still plenty of room to grow. I just had to share. When I saw that XRP hit a brand new all-time high, I could hardly believe it. This was at 4:12 p.m. Central Time, so just about an hour and a half ago. I posted XRP at $3.43, new all-time high. Can you believe it? We're witnessing it happen, and it feels incredible. After that, XRP kept climbing as we moved into price discovery. Who knows, maybe it's even higher by the time you're reading this. Of course, some pullbacks are bound to happen, they always do. But that doesn't mean the ride is over. There's still a ton of strength behind XRP right now. It's honestly exciting to see. I just want to quickly touch on the topic of XRP's all-time high, because there's still some confusion out there. I've noticed a lot of chatter about this on X today. Some folks keep saying that XRP hasn't reached its true all-time high yet. They point to numbers like $3.84 from CoinMarketCap or $3.92 from Live Coin Watch. But that's actually not accurate. I've talked about this quite a few times on my channel, so I'll keep it short. But I do think it's important for everyone to know the real story. Let's hear it straight from David Schwartz himself. He's one of the minds behind XRP and the XRP ledger on why this happens. He jumped into a conversation where someone pointed out that $3.84 isn't actually the all-time high for XRP. The person tagged David, and he stepped in to explain. About that $3.84 value, it often gets tossed around as the all-time high, but in reality, you couldn't actually sell your XRP for $3.84, and buyers didn't have to pay that much either. The number was inflated because it used official currency exchange rates with Korean exchanges, which didn't reflect what people could really buy or sell XRP for at the time. If you're curious about this, Investopedia actually has a full article that dives into the topic, and you can always look it up for more details. I won't be going deep into it in this video. This whole situation is known as the kimchi premium. But just to clear things up, the all-time high during the last cycle was about $3.35, depending on the exchange you check. That was the peak. So right now, we're definitely at or even above those all-time high levels. Seriously, there's no doubt about it. If someone tries to tell you that we haven't hit a new all-time high yet, they're just mistaken. And just so you know, there has never been an exchange in history where XRP's market rate was higher than that price. It simply hasn't happened, not anywhere in the world. If you don't believe me, go ahead and double-check. Grab data from any exchange and see for yourself. If you find something different, show me your source, but trust me, you won't, because it doesn't exist. Check this out. It's honestly kind of mind-blowing. So there's this website called companiesmarketcap.com that ranks the world's top assets by market cap. But what's cool is they mix everything together. Precious metals, stocks, cryptocurrency, you name it. No surprise, gold sits at the very top with a whopping $22.4 trillion. Bitcoin comes in strong at number 5 with a $2.39 trillion market cap, and Amazon is right behind at number 6. Now, here's where it gets exciting. XRP is making serious moves up this list. It's on the front page now, ranked as the 80th most valuable asset on Earth. Think about that. XRP, number 80 in the entire world. And that's even after years of, let's be honest, some pretty heavy-handed price suppression. As of now, XRP's market cap is sitting at $206 billion. That's the highest it's ever been. Over $200 billion, how wild is that? For me, this is the kind of moment I've been waiting for since I first got into XRP way back in late 2017. And I truly believe it's not stopping here. There's more growth ahead. I always thought XRP would make it back into price discovery. And I stuck with it because when something is truly valuable, widely used, and irreplaceable, people don't just toss it aside. That's not how we operate. So here we are. The market's finally catching up, and things are on a much more even playing field now. The war on crypto, I'd say that's behind us. There's a lot happening today, but I'll dive into those details in another video. For now, let's just take a moment. This is pretty amazing. Hey, just wanted to share a post from Blockchain Backer that really echoed what David Schwartz and I have been saying and talking about lately. It turns out a lot of folks are sharing this info. For the record, I posted about this at 6:39 a.m., and then Blockchain Backer shared his take at 7:41 a.m. Just to be clear, he wasn't copying me. This is definitely making the rounds in the XRP community right now. I actually first saw the info from someone else, and then I reposted David Schwartz's comment here too. So if you come across this, help spread the word. More people need to hear about it. Honestly, it surprises me how many in the XRP community still aren't aware of these details. Anyway, let's talk about what Blockchain Backer covered. There's been some confusion about XRP's all-time high in 2018. Some exchanges like Binance, Kraken, Coinbase, Bitstamp, and Bitfinex showed prices between $3.30 and $3.40, so that's really the legitimate range. The $3.84 figure you might have heard? That wasn't a real USD price that anyone paid, received, or saw. It came from an exchange using Korean currency and doesn't reflect real market action. So, in terms of true price discovery, anything above $3.40 is new territory for XRP. Here's a snippet from the Blockchain Backer at 1:06 p.m. At that time, although we hadn't yet entered the phase of XRP's USD price discovery, XRP's market cap had already hit an all-time high. Let me explain why that happens. The main reason the market cap reaches new heights before the XRP price does is because the circulating supply of XRP has grown compared to the last time we were in this price range. Remember, market cap is simply the circulating supply multiplied by the current price. So, since there's now more XRP in circulation, it actually takes less of a price jump for the market cap to hit a record high, even before the USD price itself does. Interesting how that works, right? Right around 407, as XRP was entering price discovery mode, the blockchain backer posted this update at exactly 4:07 p.m. He wrote, XRP after 7.5 years, welcome to a new all-time high, folks. This is glorious. This is real life. It really happened. This is the moment we've all been waiting for, and honestly, it feels like things are only going to get better from here. How many times have I said over the years that one day you'll just wake up and XRP will be taking off? Well, today's that day, folks. XRP is finally on the move, and I can hardly believe it. You've got to love moments like these. XRP community member Frecky reposted that announcement from the blockchain backer. If you don't know, Frecky's been in the crypto game since 2011, and he actually has decades of professional experience in finance. He's seen it all, pretty much from day one. His message is simple. Soon enough, the media will catch on. Soon, most people will figure it out, and then they'll scramble to get in position. I hope you're already ahead of the game. As for me, absolutely, I'll be honest. I've invested what probably seems like a totally unreasonable amount of my US dollars into XRP over the years. I capped off my dollar cost averaging with some bigger purchases towards the end, and then I realized if I didn't stop, I'd probably need some kind of support group to help me quit buying XRP. So I put the brakes on and focused on diversifying into other coins. Still, XRP now makes up well over half of my entire crypto portfolio because of this wild run. I had a feeling it would pay off, and it did. And you know what? If you've been in this with me, you were right too. Let's take a moment to check out XRP's dominance over the past 3 months. If you look back, it actually dropped to about 3.7%, maybe even 3.8%, which is pretty low considering it hit an all-time high earlier this year. But look at the comeback. As I'm recording this, XRP dominance has climbed back up to 5.39%. A lot of analysts out there think this number could keep climbing, and honestly, it seems pretty reasonable. Some folks say it could even get close to 15%, though opinions definitely vary. If that happens, even if it just reaches 15%, that would mean XRP's price could potentially triple. Right now, XRP is hovering around $3.50, so with some quick math, that could push it over $10, maybe even to about $10.50. But remember, that estimate is based on the current value of the overall crypto market, which is just over $3.8 trillion. Now let's imagine the crypto market doubles, which isn't out of the question. It could rise to $7.6 trillion. In that case, hitting 15% dominance would put XRP in the 20-plus range. Things can move fast. Of course, I'm not making any predictions here, but that scenario isn't far-fetched. Plenty of well-known analysts actually believe XRP could peak somewhere between $20 and $30, maybe even higher this cycle. Crazy? Not really, at least not in the world of crypto. Who knows what could happen? Check out what's happening with Bitcoin dominance. It's really starting to slip. We're down to 62.37% now, which is a noticeable dip from the recent high of about 66%. Sure, that might only be a few percentage points, but the direction is what matters, and the pace is picking up lately. It's not some massive collapse, but it's definitely moving the way you'd hope if you're looking for altcoins to have their moment. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin dominance drops all the way to somewhere between 35% and 45% by the time we reach the peak of this cycle's excitement. If you use Bitcoin dominance as a top indicator, we're still a long way from that point, which is encouraging. It's great to see Bitcoin's price climbing while its dominance is going down. That's classic behavior for every major cycle, and it's happening again right now. Meanwhile, XRP dominance is ticking up, which is exactly what you'd expect to see based on past trends. Everything is playing out just as history suggests, and it's honestly exciting to watch. Bottom line, Bitcoin dominance appears to be in a real breakdown right now. If history keeps repeating, this could be Bitcoin's final parabolic move up, which totally makes sense to me, and I'm on board with that idea. Absolutely. Here's something interesting I came across this morning from chart analyst Matthew Hyland. At 9:50 a.m., just before XRP hit a new all-time high, he posted an update worth sharing. Matthew pointed out that both Ethereum and XRP have broken out against Bitcoin by hitting higher highs. If this trend holds on the weekly chart, it's going to be really tough for Bitcoin dominance to keep rising. Basically, if Ethereum and XRP are starting uptrends relative to Bitcoin, we should expect Bitcoin's market share dominance to drop. Here's the fun part. When Bitcoin surges, the altcoins often follow, and sometimes in spectacular fashion. That's something I've been talking about a lot, both in this cycle and the last one. It's not just a theory, we've seen it happen before, and it's playing out again right now. Matthew's totally on point with his analysis. There's still some time left in this cycle, but now we're entering the phase where things can go absolutely crazy. Historically, most of the big gains tend to show up at the very end of the market cycle, when excitement is at its highest. So even though we're through most of this cycle in terms of time, the best part, the potential for the biggest gains, could still be ahead of us. It's a pretty good reason to stay excited. Here's a post I came across from Andreas Steno Larsen. Honestly, I wasn't familiar with him before, but with 261,000 followers, he's clearly pretty popular in this space. Sometimes I like to share posts from people chatting about XRP when they show up in my feed, just to bring in a fresh perspective. He mentioned that both XRP and Ethereum are sporting send it charts right now, and he's absolutely right. Ethereum's been on a tear lately, climbing close to $3,500 just yesterday. It's dipped a bit since then. That's the kind of action you want to see, because traditionally, when Ethereum starts to soar, it signals the beginning of alt season. And honestly, that's exactly what crypto fans are hoping for. Check out this post from my fellow XRP YouTuber Alex Cobb. He's all in, saying XRP is literally about to flip Ethereum, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. Now, I can't say for sure if that's actually going to happen, but honestly, I'm pretty on board with the idea. In fact, I think there's a real shot we could see XRP snag that number 2 spot by market cap. There's some history here to back it up too. XRP has taken that spot several times before, so it wouldn't shock me to see it happen again. So if we're talking about XRP getting closer and closer to that massive market cap, if XRP were to reach Ethereum's current market cap, its price would basically double. That means XRP could be hovering around $7 just to match where Ethereum is now. And honestly, that's not such a wild idea. That's why some analysts are throwing around numbers like $15, $20, or even $25 for XRP. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but those predictions aren't as out there as they might sound. Could it happen? Maybe, maybe not. But in the world of crypto, things can move fast, so it's definitely possible. Here's a fun story I came across from Credible Crypto, one of the top analysts in the crypto space. The post dates back to December 17th, 2019. So that's about a year before the SEC went after Ripple. At the time, Credible Crypto had a much smaller following. Now he's got over 471,000 followers. Crazy, right? Anyway, he tweeted that he just bought XRP at 18 cents per coin, investing $10,000 and ending up with 53,692 XRP. His big prediction? Within 4 years, this XRP will buy me a Lambo. He even asked his followers, what color should I get? Flash forward to today, after XRP finally shot into price discovery and hit a new all-time high. Credible Crypto came back to this old post at 4:31 p.m., just 20 to 25 minutes after XRP took off, to give us an update. He shared that his XRP stash was now worth $186,000. That's right, he turned 10 grand into $186,000 just by holding on and doing nothing. That's basically been my strategy too, since 2017. I've just been sitting tight, and hey, sometimes patience really does pay off. He also mentioned he got a lot of heat back then for suggesting XRP would ever reach new all-time highs. Sure, it took longer than he'd hoped, but we made it. And you know what? The delay wasn't just market timing. The SEC lawsuit against Ripple pretty much targeted every XRP holder everywhere. That definitely played a part. Without that, I honestly believe his 4-year prediction would have been spot on. Take 2021, for example. XRP was the only top 10 coin last cycle that didn't hit a new all-time high. The only one, and it just so happens, it was also singled out by the government. Coincidence? I don't think so. Here we are, and it turns out we were right all along. We're seeing total vindication and some real price discovery happening. Take chart analyst XRPunky, for example. He called price discovery. Everyone's in full celebration mode. Here's an update from chart analyst Pintoshi, someone a lot of folks in the crypto space know well. Earlier today around noon and 1 p.m., Pintoshi posted that XRP was on the move, climbing up toward its previous all-time highs and just waiting for price discovery to kick in, especially with some solid momentum behind it. Fast forward to 4:33 p.m., and XRP had actually entered price discovery mode. Pintoshi hopped back online to say XRP has now begun price discovery. I think in the next few weeks we see $4.25 at a minimum, maybe even higher, but let's take it one step at a time. With over $872,000 in crypto, he's definitely someone people pay attention to. Honestly, I think he's got a point. It really feels like price discovery is just getting started, and there's a lot of excitement ahead. The big dramatic price moves, those are probably still to come. We might not be all the way there yet, but it's really exciting to know we're just at the beginning. Check out this post from X-Force Global. It was shared at 2:36 p.m. this afternoon, and at that moment, XRP was on the move, trading at $3.38, just 2 cents shy of its all-time high. He wrote, "If I'd listened to all the XRP haters over the years, I'd be broke for generations. Congratulations to everyone." And honestly, isn't that the truth? There have definitely been a lot of doubters along the way. Here's a post from Cyflux, who shared his thoughts when XRP hit $3.53. He posted this at 5:01 p.m. Central Time. His message was, if you invested in XRP, remember what all the Bitcoin maxis told you. They doubted us XRP holders. It's true, a lot of people in the Bitcoin community dismissed those of us who believed in XRP. They said we were making a mistake, joking that XRP was headed for zero or would fall out of the top 10. Well, things turned out differently. XRP has been outperforming expectations and showing impressive results against Bitcoin in terms of price action. It's been rewarding to see XRP's progress, especially when so many doubted it. Personally, I feel great about how things have worked out for XRP. If you believed in it too, I bet you're feeling pretty good as well. Let's go back for a second. Remember the phone? I chatted about that when it first came out. Now, recently I noticed a post from Coin Bureau. If you're into crypto, you probably know their YouTube channel. They're massive with over 2 million subscribers. Judging by the chart in their post, I'm guessing it was around mid-June. I covered this at the time, and it stuck with me. Here's what happened. Coin Bureau posted that XRP won't see $3 anytime soon, pointing to on-chain data showing new XRP wallet creation down almost 80% since January, and daily active addresses dropping from 577,000 to 34,000. They asked if confidence in XRP was fading. Now, I'll be honest. While these numbers are accurate, context matters. The whole market saw a local surge in January, with Bitcoin and many other coins hitting their peaks, then dropping off. XRP dropped from its high too, but it actually spent the next several months consolidating steadily, while other coins were falling even more. It seemed a bit unfair to single out XRP when the broader market was seeing similar trends. In fact, XRP outperformed many other top coins during this period. Since November, it's been a leading performer among the top 100 cryptocurrencies by market cap, and that's still true today. So, while some voices tried to spin a negative story, the bigger picture tells a different tale. The XRP community stayed strong, and the data supports that resilience. At the end of the day, staying informed and looking beyond the headlines really pays off. Here's a post from chart analyst Zoom, also for XRP income, and he posted this at 4:58 p.m. So just about an hour ago, he thinks it's coming sooner than later, $4. And I will love to see that. Check out this post from Dom, one of the co-founders of ECA, who's actively building on the XRP ledger. After XRP hit its all-time high and entered price discovery mode, Dom chimed in at 4:21 p.m. with some exciting news. He said, "Everyone who ever bought XRP is now in profit. Damn straight. You love to see it." Honestly, it's the kind of moment you just can't help but celebrate. Check out this post from Charting Guy. He posted it right around 4 p.m., just minutes before XRP took off into price discovery. At that time, Bitcoin was doing its own thing. For part of the day while XRP was steadily climbing, Bitcoin actually dipped a little. XRP kept pushing upward anyway, though there were a few moments when it pulled back, even though the overall trend was up. I have to admit, watching that got a bit frustrating. A bunch of people noticed this, including Charting Guy. In his post, he pointed out that Bitcoin started jumping again, shooting past $120,000. He said, Bitcoin started to play along, but XRP is fighting an all-time high sell wall. And then, just minutes later, it finally happened. XRP burst right through and entered price discovery. Check this out. The post I just showed you was from 4 p.m. Now, here's another one from 4:09 p.m. He wrote, XRP all-time high, celebration my baby. You've got to love that kind of excitement. Here's Crypto Insight UK, XRP all-time high, sharing his anime gifs here, which he does when XRP price starts to go ballistic. You'll love to see it. I'm glad that those gifs are back. Check out this update from chart analyst Crypto. At 4:40 p.m., just about 30 minutes after XRP entered price discovery, he shared, "We're just getting started." Everyone was in celebration mode, and honestly, just look at that consolidation. Now, how many times have I told you all this year? Answer, a lot. Here's the pattern. XRP tends to have one big pump during the cycle, then it consolidates for about half a year, and then boom, it pumps again. We saw this in 2017, again in the 2020 to 2021 cycle, and it's played out once more this time. This isn't just a wild theory anymore. We've seen it happen 3 cycles in a row. It might not repeat in exactly the same way every time, but wow, history really does rhyme with itself. Do you believe it now? Because this latest cycle followed the same script. A pump in November, the peak in January, a half year of consolidation, and now XRP is breaking into price discovery? Like clockwork. Seriously, it's uncanny. Wow, just incredible. You can really feel the excitement, can't you? If you're an XRP holder right now, it's an awesome time to celebrate. Honestly, I'm so thrilled. It's hard to even put into words how amazing this feels. This is total vindication, finally. For a lot of us, this was the missing piece, actual price discovery. Now, sure, maybe we'll see things dip a bit now and then. That's perfectly normal. But as analysts keep pointing out, any dips probably won't last long. Buyers are eager, and when the price bounces, we just keep moving up. We're entering that final super exciting stage of the market cycle, and you can feel the euphoria building. And the wildest part? The real euphoria hasn't even started yet. Everyone in the XRP community has every reason to be excited. But once the whole market catches on to what's happening, things could get even crazier. We'll have folks flooding in, chasing those green candles, and driving prices up like they do every cycle. I've been waiting for this moment since 2017. I haven't sold a single XRP yet. But don't get me wrong, I definitely plan to once the price reaches a point that could truly change my life. I'm holding out for more, but when the time is right, I'll sell most of my XRP. And here's the best part. After the inevitable bear market, I'll be earning new income, and I'll start stacking XRP all over again. I believe in this coin for the long run, so I have no problem repeating this whole process. I'll keep running this channel too, and we'll all get another shot at building wealth. This isn't just a one-time opportunity. When the bear market comes, new opportunities will pop up. I'll be looking to scoop up bargains. For months or even a few years, my portfolio might break even or even drop in value. And that's okay. That's exactly how my crypto journey started, and it paid off. I'll just keep doing what works and wait for the market to swing up again. Rinse and repeat. There's so much opportunity out there, and you're in control of your story. If you want in, you just have to decide to go for it. Get some broad exposure. Yeah, I'm partial to XRP. but it pays to have a range and be patient. Trust me, sometimes that means waiting through years of ups and downs, especially if you get in near the start of a bear market. I've been there, buying for years and seeing nothing but red, but I didn't lose faith. That's the secret. Patience. Forget fancy trading courses or timing the market. Most of that just ends up hurting folks. What you need is a steady hand and a willingness to hang in there. Not just for weeks or months, but for years if you have to. And so many of you have been here just as patient as I have, sticking it out through all the SEC drama, and now look at us. This is our moment. Let's enjoy it. Seriously, celebrate tonight. 7.5 years since the last price discovery? It's a big milestone for XRP holders. I'm absolutely over the moon. Feels like we've finally landed on the moon and are heading straight for the stars. So, let's share the good vibes. Drop a comment below and let me know how you're feeling. What are you planning if XRP hits $100? I want to hear about it. Most of all, have fun. Enjoy this ride. Don't forget to subscribe and join the conversation. This is what we've been waiting for.